Yes, people, and welcome back to the What's Going On podcast, Normski TV. Please hit that like, shall I say, smash the like button, subscribe and share if you're new. I've got to 270, 30 away from 300. So, guys, people, if you're in there, please get me to that 300. Nobody yet is online yet, but listen, we're gonna continue. I'm sure. I'm gonna probably take a bet and say that either Craig or Tom Strong might come in. Let's see what happens there. Let's see if I win that bet. But listen, without further ado, I'm just going to bring on Mr. Big D. Ez can't make it tonight. Other commitments. Kofi's going to be on a little bit later. And Chile is still out there basking in the sunshine, wherever that is. In East London or wherever that is. So I did send him out the link. So you never know, he might come on. But listen, without further ado, let me get on my big mate, Mr. Big D. Bro!
Yes, sir.
What are you saying, man?
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good in South America right now, bro.
Well, yeah. So what's the weather like out there, brother?
It's peak.
It's peak. It's peak. Listen. I don't know if there's any Brazilian friends in the chat, but if you are going to be in the chat, D, I need you to give me say hello in Brazilian.
Man, I wish I could. There you go. Here's Calvin.
Yes, Mr. Calvin, what you saying, bro?
I actually must learn that. I got to learn that, Norman. You're right, you know.
Yeah. So the next time you come
I got
on,
to learn some Portuguese, mate. You know them ones?
Learn some Portuguese, brother, cuz, right? Yeah, talking about Portuguese. Bro.
I know.
Craig in there second. What you say? Chile on a jet ski alongside Eddie. He's definitely on a jet ski. Welcome, Craig. Welcome, Calvin. Yeah, he's probably on a jet ski, probably riding a crest of a wave like I'm doing right now. So you know it is.
Yes, Craig. Big up yourself, man.
Well, big up to the people that are already online and watching. Yes, Mr. Junior. What you saying, brother? Yeah.
Yes, June.
Yeah. D donning the Brazilian top. Yes, Mr. Harris. Welcome.
Yes, Ian.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'll say to D, man, he needs to learn some Portuguese because man is donning the Brazilian top and donning the Brazilian background. I man has asked me, "Where's my England top?" Yo, behave yourself, brother. Behave. But you know what? I'm gonna have to fight. A backdrop. I might have to come with the England backdrop because our boys, man. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, they came correct. You have to give it on, man.
Give it up to the brothers. Give it up to the brothers, man. Give it up to the brothers, man. Listen, lots to discuss tonight. As you know, it is the World Cup. So there's no Premier League, but we will be talking all things the World Cup. As you see, scrolling along the bottom of our screen, World Cup review. How are our players performing? So D, I want to know how your players are doing from your side, you know, in terms of who they're playing for and representing. I want to know how they're doing. Ronaldo sat. It's pick and mix time. It's pick and mix time for Mr. Ronaldo. And the World Cup shopping window is now open. And any other business, internet trolls, at it again. And you know what that's all about, D. We had a chat on our group chat, and we weren't too pleased with certain things that Twitter is doing. Here we go. There you go, D. You want to? That's Junior. He's going to give you some Portuguese lessons. So
I'm looking at one.
Let's be having you.
I'm going to have to go on to one of these apps, and you know the ones where you can talk into it and then see what it says, see what it translates for you.
Proper,
see what it translates back.
Pronunciation. The proper pronunciation.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. But listen, just say yo, man. What you're saying? That's it. Right now, it's people. What's up? Yeah.
Right,
and all that. But yeah. Listen, let's be talking the World Cup, and listen. Is it a World Cup? No, first of all, mind my manners. I have to ask how you're doing. I mean, obviously, you brought the Brazilian sunshine with you, D. Yeah, wherever that is.
Trying to brighten the room up.
Brighten up the room. So let me just ask how you doing, man? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right, man. Another juggling week, but as always, and then you know, I'm like most people. You kind of catching the games when you can, really.
Yeah.
The 10 o'clock one is too early because I'm still crashed out from night shift. So
yeah,
I've been catching second halves. Actually, I set the alarm and watched the England one. To be fair, I watched the whole game for that. But in general, I've just been watching a 1 o'clock.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not the best time to have it, as I say, having the World Cup in the middle of, you call it a winter break, no Premier League until Boxing Day. It's kind of weird. And as I said, you're at work and, you're getting, results popping up on your screen and some shock results at that as well. Some shock results. And I mean, even today, Germany lose it to Japan 2-1. Bro. And the biggest one of all, which we will talk about, Argentina. Bro, you know what I mean? So listen, it's a lot to actually discuss. Big D, the only person CR7 didn't dark up was Sir Alex Ferguson in it.
Yeah, he knows that, Kelvin, because he knows that anyhow we did mention Sir Alex in there. He said them Scottish haters looking for him, man. He said in the voice to look for Ronaldo if his name came up in that interview. He knows better than that. Plus, he he does consider him a father figure, to be fair. And like I say, he came back because of Fergie. He didn't really want to come back to us, you know what I mean? It's one of them, and it didn't have to end this way. But it did. It did, you know. So
I mean, listen. We know what he wanted to do, with the coaxing of Mr. Piers Morgan, and I think he's got his cake and he can now eat it. I understand.
Well, no, it's funny because Piers he kind of tweeted some coded stuff, and then he tweeted that the Arsenal flag next to Ronaldo and all that. And then yesterday I'm watching one Saeed stream. Not Saeed, Oozing Expressions. And rants. And I
heard that they were kind of having they were going at each other apparently.
But they showed a clip where Troops said he would take Ronaldo over Nketiah. Troops said that, and they got the receipts. And I went, what? He said they'd take him. He said they'd take him over Nketiah.
Well,
so that's my question to you.
well, funny should say that. Funny should say that. Here's one I prepared earlier. Where is it? Yeah. Okay.
Right. But you know what? As mad as it sounds, right, it's probably not a mad thing, but does your gaffer, does he think he's bigger in every which way than the boss? And I think that's where the sticking point will come, where he will tell Arteta, right, you need to play.
No thanks. You say no thanks.
Yeah,
I'll say no thanks. Listen, this guy will mess up. Listen, as much as this guy is a goal scorer, he's the greatest of all time. But listen, I beg to differ. I think Messi for me is the main man. This guy will just mess up the equilibrium at Arsenal right now. We've got a good thing going, as I said, riding a question where we don't need Ronaldo to come and knock me off that surfing board right now. And yes, he might score. I mean, listen, people are saying, that, or Ronaldo, even in his interview with Piers Morgan, was basically saying, they're not probably accommodating me and playing to my style of football. But at the end of the day, D, it's down to Ten Hag. You know what I mean?
But if you look at how refined you've been this season, as in Arsenal, right? That free-flow football, and you're staying solid. It's where Ten Hag is trying to go. Trust me when I say he's looking at Arsenal and saying they're playing. I mean, Pep said it. He said it. Arsenal playing some beautiful football. So it's almost like teams are looking at that Arsenal model and saying, "Yeah, man, this is the way to play football in this current right now where we are."
Yeah,
and he doesn't want to play that kind of football. He wants to play the football that accommodates his ego. There you go, Craig saying it.
Yeah.
So as much as Troops might have a drink. I don't know whether you drink.
I mean, listen, we go back 15, 20 years and we could have had this guy. He was at a training ground, and then Man United came knocking, and the rest is history. And Wenger always comes out with it at the end of a transfer window. Oh, we could have had Ronaldo. Why did you get him when you're supposed to have got him at the right age? And now, you've got Charles Watts, who does another podcast, and he's a writer for Football London, and he was saying Piers Morgan is coming out, and all these people are coming out and saying, "Oh, why not just take a punt? 6 months at Arsenal, he could probably push us over the line." I mean, put it in the chat, guys. Do you think that if Ronaldo was to come to Arsenal, would he get us over the line, or would he be a disruptive influence? And as Craig saying here, his ego would be just too big to handle, and I think he would just mess up the ethos of the club, the team, and what's going on. And the fact is, if he does come in, just say if he did come in, and that's a big, massive if.
Yeah.
Man is going to be wanting to take Saka's shirt. Are you having a laugh, bro?
Well, this is it. Because yesterday, no, well, not yesterday. What are we today? Where I'm always check. Well, Wednesday today, right? So yeah,
Wednesday,
yesterday. Yeah. No, Tuesday. What game was I watching? The France game, France-Australia.
Yesterday.
Yeah, it was and they had
yesterday.
They had Rio. Who else in it? Rio.
It was Rio.
What's his name from Man City? Company Vincent
Company.
Yeah,
and Drogba. Was Drogba in there?
Might be Drogba. But
Yeah, I think it was Drogba.
But he was asked. The news came out and they asked Rio his opinion. Rio gave his opinion on the whole, mutual consenting and all the rest of it. And then they asked if he would take him at Burnley, right? And so they put him on the spot. So remember, this is national TV, And he went
in front of millions, if not billions.
Hear him. He said, "Unfortunately, I need players that can actually run." And the whole studio was laughing their heads off. And I'm like, Rio, that's supposed to be your boy. Why are you laughing for? That's not funny. But
he's off. Rio's off his Christmas card now this year.
Exactly, because we saw Rio laughing, but it made me laugh, man. I was like, Vincent said, "No, I can't. We need players that can actually run." So there's not a delusional from people when they say that he not only has he lost the yard of pace, his hip ain't very good either. That's why you don't see him trying to do these quick burst runs to the box. That turn of pace is nowhere near. But if you say take a punt on him for 6 months, does he behave himself and let Arteta be the man? Because this is what he has. Is, I say it all the time, that main man syndrome. He's not going to go to Arsenal and be the main man. He's going to be a support act, which he was going to be how he was at us, and that's not what he wants. He wants to be profiled. So it'd be interesting because he's free. So
this is a thing, and I mean, they're saying that ideally he would probably want to go and play for a Champions League team. But there's not many. I mean, look, Real Madrid. Well, Real Madrid said at the moment they're not looking to buy anybody in January.
But Benzema's injured, Norm.
I know.
Benzema got injured, so that might change. That might.
Yeah.
We don't know how bad the injury is.
Yeah.
But,
No, I mean, So, if that, there's an option there for Real Madrid. Obviously, Chelsea. Graham Potter, and I just can see in the chat, Calvin was saying that Graham Potter probably won't want him just the same as Tuchel. But this Todd Bowley guy, if this guy can bring in, if this guy can bring in some shirt sales and whatever, I think Todd do the business, man, and get him to play some soccer.
Because Calvin might know this off his head since he's on the chat. Sporting Lisbon, I think they are in our 16 of the Champions League. So
yeah.
So he may go home. He may go home.
But then I think it was Fabrizio Romano came out and somebody else, I can't remember, and they were saying that Sporting are not really interested in him.
Oh, wow.
And this is the problem, and this is the dilemma that these clubs, bringing in Cristiano Ronaldo on maybe a 6-month thing. I mean, this guy is expecting to walk into the side and start.
Yeah,
that's where, and for me, that's where the disruption starts. Yeah, and this is where he will get people's backs up because now he's going to say, "I'm the player." I mean, he's come out and said it on when he had his interview with Piers Morgan that look, I'm a player.
Was it an interview, though, Norm?
Well, it wasn't. We know it wasn't an interview. Yeah, we know.
It was Ronaldo. I said so. It was Ronaldo talking and Piers giving him bare affirmations. And it was embarrassing, actually.
It was absolutely embarrassing. But you see what happens? Ronaldo, you talk too much, and Man United acted. And I'm good. I'm glad that. I mean, listen. Let's deal with this whilst it's here. Let's just deal with it. And it's basically, Ronaldo, Chelsea or Madrid, or Ronaldo is pick and mix. Take a pick. Obviously, Madrid and Chelsea are heavily linked with him and all of that stuff. But listen, the guy knew that he wanted out of the club. Gary Neville said it. Carragher said it. All these pundits said it, that the only thing that this was set up for him to, you know, he didn't mind if he got sacked. You know what I mean? They said it was a mutual agreement. It was not a mutual agreement. He was sacked. That's what it was. That's the word, the right word for it.
Yeah, he purposely used his contract, and that was the only way to blow it up. And Pierce encouraged him to do that.
Yeah,
because you know, once you say certain things, like you've gone after the owners, the chief executive, the managers, and you've held out legends, and you've gone after current players. Like this, that's just it. There's no return from that. Or he comes back and he rots on that big money in the reserves, which I don't think they wanted. So what's that?
Monofun with
Pierce
Morgan.
It was.
I mean, it was just proper him, you know, stroking his ego. Surely Ronaldo knew this was, you know, come on, man.
Yeah.
You don't ever.
And then you watch it, and then you say to yourself, Ronaldo, you're nearly a 40-year-old man. Like, seriously, bro. Like, you couldn't just go and have a meeting and sit down and say, listen, this is not working for anybody. I think you guys know that I want gone. I know that you want me gone. Let's just figure this out. I don't think he had to do the Pierce thing. And I think he will live with some regrets because like someone said to me, does that harm him getting the statue outside Old Trafford? And I think it actually does now. You know what I mean? You know, a lot of people forget, Norman, that we had to terminate Best for the same thing, not for slagging off, but he came to work not fit to do his job, right? And he has a statue outside Old Trafford after breaching contract, and they terminated it. You know, because they wanted to get him out. You know what I mean? The alcohol, the drugs, the wild women. He was on it. You know what I mean? And he got terminated because he couldn't perform as a football player. Yet, because he never came out.
Breached the contract, and
but
Man United obviously went for advice in terms of legal advice, and they acted quick, which is really good. Because one of the things I didn't really want, and obviously for you as a Man United fan, you know, you don't want this to be rumbling on throughout the World Cup and throughout the World Cup. And what does that mean? You know, come January now, you know, I mean, all right, you got Martial, you got Rashford. Rashford is not prolific down the middle. Martial is always injured. What now in terms of the transfer window? You know, as I said in one of our subject matters, is that the World Cup shopping window is now open. So you know, are you seeing any players in there that you think, you know what, maybe we could take a punt on him, or maybe?
Knowing my club, you have to remember we're not playing Champions League football after the winter break. We're back in Europa, and these guys have already spent 200 plus million. I just don't see them overpaying for a striker in January. I don't see it. And if they shot me, then they shot me. The only way that happens if they able to sell the club in the next 3 weeks.
Well, that's another interesting thing. The sell, you know, the Glazers thinking about putting the club up for sale. Another American owner deciding to bail out.
Yeah, and I don't even trust that. Like,
I'm hearing some mad figures. I'm hearing some mad figures of between 5 and 10 billion.
I know, yeah. And 5 being the bare minimum. 5 billion being the bare minimum,
Yeah. No statue for CR7 at Old Trafford, but the Glazers got exposed again for fleecing the club on a global TV. The dollars is stronger than sterling, so it's a great opportunity to sell Man United FC. Got a point there, Calvin.
But Calvin, you have to also realise that they are due another dividend check in January, and it's going to be around the 12 to 15 million. Now they just saved 17 million in Ronaldo wages until the summer.
Yeah,
and
that's crazy. Sorry, D. When I listen.
Yeah, when you heard that, you were like, "What?"
I'm like, "What?"
Peas, you know, Norman. This brother was on peas.
17 million. The man said,
"Right,
all right, guys, I'm willing to just tear up my contract and just say no to that 17 million." You understand?
Right.
Yeah.
That's how much money he's got, Norm. That he could do that and not even flinch.
Oh, you meant to say 6 to 8 billion, right? Yeah. Rashford is looking all of a sudden good for him, scoring the fastest goal in the tournament. I rate that.
Yeah, Junior is due a new contract renewal.
Yeah,
everything is calculated.
When he came on, that
was Luke Shaw as well.
Yeah.
Luke Shaw.
Yes, Mr. Root calls. What you saying, brother?
Yes, Root calls my youth. Nice, bro.
Yeah.
It's like he suddenly found form when his contract is up for extension or renewal. Same as Luke Shaw. These guys are consistent. You have to give them that. They're consistent when it comes to their money. So, Yeah. But yes,
performance related pay right now in the World Cup, yeah.
Right, yeah. But you know these guys. Well, I know the England guys in general. They give their international money to their designated charities, so they don't keep their money from international football. They give it to whatever charity their foundations or whatever. The money goes there, which is nice. It's good. That's good because their club money is so good. That the international money is like, yeah, man, give us a charity. It's all good. So yeah.
Well, I hope that £17 million that Man United decided that they weren't going to pay Ronaldo, they might just decide to reinvest that back into the club.
I'd rather them use that money and fix up, obviously fix the gym, fix the jacuzzi.
Well,
and get the chefs
all
some
about
equipment.
that, D. Talking about all of that, because obviously, if Man United do end up selling the club, and how again, I suppose it's the time span that it's going to take to do this. I mean, some people say no, it could be done in 6 months. Is it Golden Sachs that are the people that are going to be involved in the?
Yeah, I think so.
The sale
Goldman's,
Goldman Sachs. But some people are saying it could take 6 months. Some people say it could take 2 years. And
it might be. 2 years.
It might be. Well, I could say it might be because the Glazers are probably holding out for that 10 billion. Or you know what I mean?
It's a lot of money.
And would you like an Arab state to come and take over your club, or you're not really too fussed?
This is the thing with all that's gone on with Qatar holding the World Cup and all that, and everyone's judging the Arab states. It's like, do you want that? Because it would be literally frying pan into the fire. You go from Americans that are just stealing a living and bleeding the club dry with huge dividends to a nation that people are going to keep saying, oh, they're human rights this, and I think every country has poor human rights behavior. But we pick and choose who we want to highlight and point the finger at.
Yeah, I mean, we had a listen.
All got blood on our hands,
You was going backwards and forward with Chile. Not to say that you was both agreeing and making some really good points on our chat. And a lot of hypocrites out there. A lot of people. I think you brought up. I thought you brought up the issue about the trainers that we wear, the shirts that we wear. These guys are getting paid pittance. And you've got these people talking about And listen, it's wrong that these guys, these immigrants are getting paid less than nothing and stuff like that. But at the same time, you're condemning it. You're still out there enjoying their sitting in a nice, seats and whatever, getting the food and all the things that come with it. Are you thinking about that now? No. The stadiums are done, built, and everything.
And that's what I was saying about the English media, that you can't be going after them when there's textile companies here that could make them England shirts, but no, they go over to India and Pakistan and these places where the people want
because it's all about profits for them, isn't it? It's all about profits for them.
An hour, and then you're charging £100 for a shirt. It's like, hold on, how does that work? You can't go over there wearing an armband and saying, "Oh, this and that," because I thought he was getting crucified. The armband, Alex Scott. She put one on pitch side to do a punditry. And I'm like, lady, what are you doing? It's not your country. That's their rules. You're in their country. Now you get arrested for that. Then what? You're hoping the embassy are going to come and save you. I didn't get what she did there. I thought she let herself down there.
Listen, look, guys.
That's my opinion on that.
This show's not a political show. We know this. It's all about football, and they say football is for everybody and everything. But at the end of the day, you have to respect one's country, one's culture, and everything like that. And you're pushing your ideas and ideologies and whatever it is you want to push. But at the end of the day, the country said this is what it is. This is what it is. If that's the case, then don't go. You know what I mean? But it's so hypocritical because they're moaning and then there's all the issues with FIFA saying that if you wear the armband, you're gonna be banned for 1 or 2 matches. So all of a sudden now. Kane is like, I ain't getting back.
But I don't know if you saw, Norman, FIFA actually provided the armband they wanted you to wear. I don't know if you saw that. They provided.
I don't.
Because I don't know who was talking about it, and they said FIFA's actually came to each club and said, right, here's whatever, here's 10 armbands.
So what's the reason for them not wearing that particular armband as opposed to the ones that Kane? Because the rainbow, the gay community or all that, right? Yeah.
So that is banned in their country,
right?
So if you got caught doing that, you get lashed and all sorts.
Mm.
Because like I was reading something that if a lady got raped, she would get lashed for getting raped. I was like, what? And so, wow, for us it's like, are you mad?
Yeah.
No, you protect her, you get her out, you get her into safety, but it's like, oh, she's put herself in a position to
But you know what, D? Can I just
almost
cut in here, right? With all of this and all the stuff that's been going on and the moaning and about you shouldn't have it there. Listen, Sepp Blatter, how many years ago, decided, you know what, we're going to give it to Qatar. Now, if you knew all this is going back how many years? If you knew all this, it's all about this at the end of the day, because them man will pay this to get this World Cup, is costing in excess of £220 billion. Are you hearing me?
Right.
£220 billion,
Right.
mate. And I think I said it on the chat that like, boy, and I think you were saying, hopefully when it comes to the business end of it, in the knockout stages, that those seats will get filled.
Yeah.
Because you're seeing empty seats all about in the stadiums. I'm like, bro.
And then I saw a report where I think there's like most of the stadiums are 40,000 seaters, and I think the two big ones where they'll play the finals and that are 60,000 seaters. And then they're chatting about, oh yeah, we had 48,000 people at the match. Mate, it's a 40,000 seat stadium. We chatting about. So they keep leaking all this stuff out, and the numbers are not what the stadiums hold. So it's a whole clown thing, isn't it? So I imagine they're just getting people off the street that look half decent and saying, come and watch the game. And make it look like people are really wanting to come. And then you saw how many people left at halftime in the Qatar game, right? In the opener. Halftime they're dipping. I'm like, but it's that culture. It was probably time for them to go eat. So they just left. It's like, and because I've been to quite a few of the Muslim countries, their origin, obviously, time to pray, all that kind of stuff, right? That you hear the bells, they go to pray. Certain times when it's time to eat, everybody's going out to the restaurants to eat. So it's very rigid. When I say rigid, it's very that they follow like we must finish eating by this time and let the food digest and all that kind of stuff, and then we'll be up for prayer at this time, and then it's different. So I think most of them people either went to pray or went to eat. Either way, that's why they left the stadium. It was time, regardless of what was going on. And it's not a footballing nation, Norm. It's not a footballing nation either.
It's not. It's not. And I mean, listen. Let's begin with the first game, which was obviously Qatar against Ecuador. And obviously the Ecuador didn't read the script. Man said, listen, we've got a couple of allegedly got a couple of bags in the back room with some donzai in there. You understand? If nobody don't know what the donzai is, the carnage and what else. But Ecuador wouldn't have it. Beating Qatar, opening game of the season. Listen, Qatar in this group will obviously be the whipping boys. There was a baddie. Yeah, go on. Yeah. Sorry.
I actually said to Sheena, as I was just waiting to watch the game, I said, I can't tell you a single player that plays for Qatar. That's how you know they're not a footballing nation. That I could just say one or two.
Apparently,
players,
they have been training since they cancelled their league to focus on the
World Cup.
On the World Cup since June.
Oh wow!
I think they probably needed to have done it in January. But I mean, it's crazy. But listen, Ecuador get off to a start. Valencia, I think, getting both goals, and Valencia getting a penalty. Who's it? So both penalties and that. I mean, I think in that game, I'm sure was it? No, I don't think it was this game. I think it was the other game, the Iran game, where there was an injury to the keeper.
Yeah, the goalkeeper.
And what I'm finding as well, there's a lot of stoppage time as well.
Huge amount of time. It's probably the most time in a World Cup to date.
Yeah.
And we're not even at the first set of games yet. So that tells you.
Yeah. I think they've worked it out since all the games that have been played. It's something like 70 odd minutes of extra added time. Because they're looking at the time it takes for the substitutes to be made. Then obviously you've got injury time. I think in England's game, which we're going to go to next, 24 minutes in total was added on.
But there is a level of calculated behaviour in this. So apparently coaches are telling players, if you're going to go down on the pitch. Don't walk to the side with an injury. So it allows the players that are on their feet to go and get a cold drink and, take a breather. So it's very calculated. It's hot out there. I get it. You know what I mean? And maybe they should have been having those little 3-minute breaks. You remember what tournament they had, and they were having like drink breaks because everyone was just getting dehydrated. It was so hot.
Yeah.
And maybe out there they should be doing the same thing. They're in the desert at the end of the day. So they should have a break halfway through each half, a drink break. But they're using the injuries as drink breaks. So it's calculated. Stay down on the pitch, get the treatment on the pitch, then everyone can come to the side and replenish and go again. So
in that, just looking at it, I mean, obviously, I don't follow Brighton as much as obviously the Brighton fans do, but I think there's 3 players from Ecuador that play for Brighton.
Is it?
I think it's Procredo, Estefan, if I can pronounce his name, and Casado.
Oh, okay, yeah, Casado, yeah,
Casado.
I had him in my fantasy. He got a yellow card. He annoyed me.
Yeah. Who plays for Brighton. So they've got 3 Premier League players. If it's not him, it's another player. But it's definitely. I think it's Estefan and Casado. But there's another player in there that plays for them. Plays for Brighton. So they've got 3 players in there representing. But as I said, they didn't read the script. Enner Valencia getting his 2 goals. Qatar start off.
And as you know, it should have been 3-0. That was a dodgy VAR decision. That was embarrassing.
I mean, listen, I didn't get it. I was looking, I'm thinking, you know what I mean? But you know what? Say no more, man. Just say no more. Say no more. And then we moved to the England-Iran game. And what a game it was. England, the brothers doing the business.
Yeah, man. Brothers FC.
Played some nice football as well. Not gonna lie, for what I've seen there, playing some lovely football. England winning that game 6-2. Goal scorers, Jude Bellingham with the first goal. What a header! What a play he's going to be. Linked with numerous amounts of clubs: Man City, Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal. Even Arsenal. But I mean, for the money that they want, he currently plays for Dortmund. Very talking, good player.
150 mil or something stupid, isn't it?
150 mil, possibly 200 mil. You know what I mean? Only 19 years ago, 19 years of old. But what a baller! What a player! What a player! But listen, my man, as I said, we're looking at how our players are performing. My man Saka, getting a brace, getting man of the match, and both goals, very good goals. Raheem Sterling comes on, as Junior said, fastest goal.
From substitute.
Substitute. Literally, he comes on a minute later. The ball's in the back of the net. Making that 3-1, and then Bukayo Saka with another goal. Sterling on the score sheet as well. Sterling obviously hasn't been playing really well for his club, but he come up with a very good goal. 2 assists from Harry Kane.
Harry Class A.
Class A Kane, mate. He got 2 assists, didn't get a goal. And you know what's going to happen, innit? When he does score, he'll probably be on the front pages.
And it's funny because
I don't upset certain Tottenham fans, you know what I mean? So
if you're someone that ain't following it and you see that 6-2 scoreline, you just assume that Kane scored a hat trick, ain't you? You know? So for him not to get on the score sheet.
But I heard that he's carrying a bit of a knock. I think he's gonna.
So you got him getting scanned for the ankle. Yeah, and then Harry Maguire's on concussion watch, isn't he?
Yeah, what happened there? I all I saw is did they clash or did he see? I didn't see it.
In the game. I don't know. I just did he just fall over his own feet or something? Just turn around.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what he did there, but then you could see in his face he was out of it. Like he kept rubbing his head like he was trying to get his focus back in his eyes, and his eyes wouldn't focus and stuff. So he just let me get out of here.
Yeah. So he's on concussion watch, and as I said, with regards to
how he's going to get scanned, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to get a scan. But I think, if anything, they said he may play in the game against America on is it Friday they played?
Friday? Yes, Friday. Yeah, Friday. Yeah.
If he does play, he'll probably have a heavy strapping on there. But the thing with Harry Kane, when it comes to his ankles, he does have a lot of problems with them. So, so we'll see what happens. And then Jack Grealish, the lad, sealing it with a 6-2 win.
Yeah.
All right, England conceded 2 goals.
By Tamaria.
But it is what it is. But England convincingly winning that game 6-2. Then we move on to let's move that out. Let's get that to here. Right, so let's go to USA Wales in the evening.
USA Wales.
What playing American football?
That was actually a decent game,
As in,
they both just attacking rather than being cagey. You know what I mean? And it's just because they both lack quality finishes where there weren't more goals.
The start of the game, I would say the first half, USA were more at it than Wales.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Because at one time, the commentator was saying that some of the players are just walking in Wales. Like Ramsey was walking. I can't remember who the other player was in midfield. Bale wasn't in the game. You know what I mean? Obviously, he gets
even Dan James, he just told him in the end.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Dan James as well.
Normally Dan James is one that will at least get down that flank and try something.
Yeah.
But actually, the Americans actually looked like they knew what they were doing in a sport that is very much not a sport. Over there, for them,
but they were really aggressive. They were really aggressive.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And then George Ware's son plays for them. Remember George Ware?
George Ware's son, getting the opening goal. Getting the opening goal and good goal as well. Very good goal as well. It was an assist from Pulisic. I think it was an assist from Pulisic.
That's it. Yeah. Chelsea man.
Chelsea man. You know what I mean?
And LeBron James of soccer.
LeBron, the LeBron
James of soccer.
So that game, that game ends up as a 1-1 draw. So look, I think, when you look at that group, who are the 2 teams for you that you think will go through? Obviously, we know Qatar, respectfully, they ain't doing anything. I think they'll lose all their games.
So, all right, yeah. For me, I'm going to say Ecuador and USA. Because I'm looking at Wales, and I don't think I don't see Wales beating Ecuador. They should.
No, but Ecuador is in a different. Ecuador is in a different.
Am I getting that wrong?
Yeah. So it's USA, Wales, Iran, and Britain.
Oh right, yes, yeah. You know what? I'm looking at the. I've got the app open, and I'm looking at it wrong. I got the app open on the games played at the time. Remember they played one game on the Sunday rather than 2. Right.
So it's kind of So it's not running as is.
Yeah.
So
for me,
for that group,
and Ecuador, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, England, I don't see. Yeah. So you said England, Ecuador.
Yeah. So you've. Oh, right. Okay.
Oh no! Hold on.
No, it's not. Norman, it's Iran.
Wales are in there. Wales are in our group.
So you got England. Yeah. So this is the group. This is the group.
Yeah.
England, Wales, USA, and Iran.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I said England and USA.
So for that,
I think
group,
England. I think Wales miss out.
Yeah.
I think Wales miss out. Well.
Yeah. They just don't. I don't know.
Remember, the penalty. They didn't look like scoring it from open play.
They didn't look like they're scoring. They didn't look like they're scoring.
And so,
that Kiefer guy plays for Bournemouth.
Kiefer Moore.
Yeah,
he should have started him. No, why didn't he?
Well, that's what I was thinking.
He's had a good season so far.
What they played they played a false 9? It was played up front because I couldn't work it out because I thought it would have been Kiefer Moore that would be the one that's to start it, but he come on.
Yeah, it was like they were playing a false line.
I must admit, when he did come on, he did create
changed the
problems.
game. Yeah.
He changed the game, and America didn't adapt to that, and that's
you just go long to him. You go because Wales could have won that game when he came on. That's how effective he was.
Yeah.
So
I think Wales were playing with I don't know if they were playing with an out-and-out striker. I don't know.
Now they're probably playing with an interchangeable front three.
That's what I think.
Bale and
Ramsey kind of plays more in that.
And the speed merchant there that he pulled off in the
Dan.
Dan. Yeah. So
but it ends up 1-1. But as I say, USA very aggressive. And the thing is, I think my worry is that obviously come Friday, USA are going to want to be up for it. You know what I mean? And they are going to go. They are going to go in, mate. And you could probably find out that Kane will probably come up with his ankles proper mash up. You understand? They're not frightened to put a tackle in. I'm not going to lie. They're not frightened to put a tackle in. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens with that. Now, talking about, I know you mentioned with the Pulisic getting an assist, Chelsea guy, Senegal, to get off to anything. I mean, the first half, literally both sides were just literally it was boring. And the goals came late in the 85th minute. Gakpo, assist from Frankie de Jong, very, very good ball over the top, and Gakpo playing in that false 9 role, nods it in. And
he's been linked to us, hasn't he? Gakpo's been linked to it. He's been linked to us even more now.
That's right. With Ronaldo going, I mean, we were linked to him, but I think, if anything, you're probably more likely to get him, and at a decent price as well. Yeah, because wherever he is, they need to balance the books. Yeah. So
Ajax,
that might be an option. It's not Ajax, it's PSV.
Yeah, but he's not an out-and-out number 9 for me. As in, you don't.
No, he's not. No, he's not. He can play along. He can play along the.
Yeah, he can play the post.
But he's more he's a more of attacking wide player.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Well, Canada just missed a penalty.
Oh, wow.
Who are they playing now? Craig, who are they playing now?
They're playing. Where am I? I don't know. Today. Who are they playing? Oh, they're playing Belgium, mate.
Okay.
And Belgium is loaded, you know.
Yeah.
De Bruyne, all their mans. De Bruyne,
but they
Hazard.
They lost in a friendly to Egypt 2-1.
Did they?
Was it 2-1? Yeah, I think it was 2-1.
I'm trying to see who's
that was a friendly, but Belgium for me, go back about 10 years, 5 years, 10 years, then I'll say they would have done something. I don't see them going. They'll probably come at the group stages.
Yeah,
but then
he's got a front three of Hazard, De Bruyne, and
but look at the back four.
Yeah, Vertonghen
and Alderweireld.
Den Docker and Alderweireld. Den Docker used to play for Wolves, didn't he?
Wolves, yeah.
But he's gone somewhere else. Though. He's not at Wolves now.
He's not there. But that's what I'm saying. Look at Vertonghen, who used to play for Tottenham.
Right,
he's in his 30s, mate.
Yeah, he's starting, yeah.
Alderweireld in his 30s.
But you got man like Trossard on the bench.
Yeah. So I mean, if anything, it's gonna, it will probably be their attacking players that will do the business, and obviously De Bruyne are pulling the strings. But that's why I'm not too sure he plays for now. He used to play for Chelsea, and he was out on loan quite a lot of times.
No, Lukaku ain't there, you know. He's not in the squad. No. I just looked at their squad now.
Unless he's injured.
Lukaku. He went
not even on the bench.
No, I'm looking at the bench now. There's no Lukaku there, mate.
Oh, well.
They've even got Hazard younger brother on the bench.
Yeah.
Wow, there's no Lukaku there, Bridget. No lie.
Wow.
I thought he was there, you know. I thought he was there. Maybe he's injured. Maybe he's injured.
Interesting. Yeah. But going back to the game, the Senegal Netherlands game, as I said, it took a long time for the game. First half, and up until the 80-odd minutes, that's when the game came to life. Gakpo was getting the opener, and David Klaassen coming on and scoring in the, as I said, in the 99th minute. you know what I'm saying? So when you look at that score, you think, Senegal convincingly beaten. But the mistakes from the goalkeeper.
Mendy. Mendy.
Yeah.
Oh my lord!
And also the defender as well.
Yeah.
Chelsea's defender, Koulibaly. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know if Ez is watching it, but mate, wow, your Chelsea fans ain't doing too good right now. You know what I mean? We said we're going to look at the performance of your players, and they didn't perform too good in that game, especially Mendy palming the goal out. And missing out. I think it was the Gakpo goal. He went to punch it and missed it completely. And Gakpo, Judy ends it in. You know what I mean? So that game,
because that was heading for a draw, wasn't it? That was heading.
Yeah, it was. It was heading for a draw.
Mistakes. Yeah,
it was like, Senegal missed Mane. They missed
big
Mane.
Time. Yeah, you can see that.
It's going to be interesting to see how that group pans out. Let's move to yesterday. Sorry, Argentina 1, Saudi Arabia 2. Unbelievable.
If you didn't know better, Norman, you think someone took a backhander there, didn't you?
Listen, I'm not saying. If you want to say it, I ain't saying it.
Allegedly, I'm not trying to get you cancelled. Allegedly, there was money that changed hands, and some rich Argentinian players.
Messi getting a penalty, and you're thinking, okay, these guys are going to go on and win this. But let me tell you something. Yeah, I didn't watch the game, but from listening to what the pundits were saying, Messi didn't really have a good game. As a matter of fact, I think I don't know who said it in the chat that Argentina was very pragmatic. What also was said as well was that the Saudi Arabians were very strong, fast. Yeah, you've got 4 or 5 players in Argentina that are over in their 30s. Yeah. Interesting enough, they left Lisandro Martinez on the bench.
I know, I saw that.
Why ain't you starting? And he's starting Otamendi.
Right, and it has to be political, Norm. Has to be, because you've got to go with the form players. Yeah, and there's definitely a form player into the World Cup. Yeah, but it's holding bench for them. So
yeah, I mean the only good thing you can say out of that is that when he came on, it was 0-0. Yeah. When I say 0-0, because he didn't concede any goals when he come on, but
but you see,
2-1 to Saudi Arabia, unbelievable.
Is that a Tottenham guy?
Who's that?
Romario. Is that a Tottenham guy?
Yeah, it's Tottenham. Yeah.
Right. So it started Otamendi, who doesn't start for Man City. He's not at Man City now.
No, he's gone. He's
gone. He's gone.
I can't even remember what club he's playing for. Yeah,
right.
I mean,
it's not relevant, is it?
Yeah.
You got Angel Di Maria. You got some good players there.
Yeah, but it's just like they weren't on it. They weren't on it, and what came out of that game, and when you watch that game, they just said that Saudi Arabian players look younger, faster, and stronger. They wanted the ball more.
Wanted it more.
And they said Messi didn't really have a good game, even though he got the penalty. He didn't really have a good game. I think there was 2 or 3 goals disallowed as well.
Yeah, which was kind of working its magic.
I don't know, and that's the thing, because of the time that it came on, wasn't able to see in its full. So we're only kind of going off what the pundits are saying, and obviously, you're seeing what's on the football one app and stuff like that. So listen, shock result, and I don't know how true it is that Saudi Arabia are giving time off to the country. They're celebrating that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
that's funny, man.
I don't know. I really don't know. Belgium.
Coming like
I think that was Craig just saying who was playing. But yeah. So what a result for Saudi Arabia. I mean, that's going to live long in their memory. Whether they will make it out the group is another thing. We'll see.
But it's a solid 3 points, isn't it? It's a solid 3-point start for them. So fair play.
Yeah. And
especially with the other team drawing their games as well.
I mean, just looking at the table. So when you look at the table, you've got Saudi Arabia sitting top on 3 points. Poland and Mexico 1 point because they drew that game.
That was a boring game as well.
Another boring game, 0-0.
Lewandowski missing a penalty.
Missing a penalty.
I was like, bro.
Yeah. Mexico had a lot of stuff going on around the box, but just couldn't finish their dinner. And then you got Argentina sitting at the bottom. So looking at that table there, D, yeah? Now, listen, if Saudi Arabia, Saudi Arabia's next game is Poland. And that's on the 26th of November, which is, I believe, is Saturday.
Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, Poland, Saudi Arabia.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? You know, if Saudi Arabia wins that game,
you actually what Saudi do then?
Yeah.
You what Saudi do Poland and qualify?
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking, mate. That's what I'm thinking. They win that game.
They've
got to play. Yeah, they're qualified.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
6 points.
Obviously, Argentina when we play Mexico. I mean, listen, you would listen. Argentina coming out of a 36 unbeaten run, yeah, and they get beaten by Saudi Arabia. I don't know if it's going to hit them mentally or what, but they're going to need to turn things around quickly because their next game is Mexico. So that will be interesting. That group is going to be interesting. I'm going to be watching that group carefully. Watching that group carefully.
As you know, that's a South American derby right there.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, so
then and because there's been a lot of upsets, you just don't know. You just don't know. Denmark, Tunisia, 0-0 draw. I didn't see the game, so
I saw the highlights of that.
Yeah,
Denmark should have won that game.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, again,
did the reactor guy play?
He played, yeah, he started.
Okay.
Started, man.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Tony Stark and team, you know.
Okay. Well, that game ended up 0-0. So I didn't really watch it. But we go to the French game, which was yesterday. France conceding first, and you're thinking, is there going to be another shock? But then Mr. Mbappe, Mr. Giroud, and the French team turn on the afterburners. 4-1 later. I mean, they could have had more goals. I mean,
yeah, man.
Mbappe.
They were cooking in the end, weren't they? They were cooking, man.
Yeah, they were cooking. Mbappe, his turn of speed is just unbelievable. From a starting position, unbelievable. And I think when he assisted the goal for Giroud, there was a point where there was a player on him and he kind of stopped, kind of dragged the ball back and then darted, made a run, stopped.
Just run again,
And then he ran again, left the guy for dead. Lovely ball in, and then Giroud was on the end of it to knock it in. And then saying that Giroud on 50 goals equaling Thierry Henry's record.
Yeah.
So
because they were talking about Deschamps, weren't they, pulling him and saying that that Deschamps was kind of foul for pulling him.
Yeah.
He weren't huffing and puffing and asking for a sub. He's on a hat trick and he never didn't pull him. So
yeah. So
he's got time.
He gets that. So I'm thinking he's got this World Cup to beat. Thierry Henry equalized it. Now he has to.
And without Benzema, he's getting more minutes, mate.
He's getting more, minutes.
He's
So
going to get more minutes without Benzema.
You know, ex-Arsenal player. Yeah. So please for him. That he's done that, and you know, Thierry Henry, mate. You know, it looks like your record is gone.
You won't be
the record is gone, mate. It's gone.
Yeah. Deep down in his feelings. You know what I mean?
So and again, in that group, I suppose I would imagine. I think France will win that group. Right. They're currently sitting top.
Do you know if they called up anyone to replace Benzema?
No, I don't. They're not going to do it because remember there was talk about Martial. I don't.
Deschamps okay.
Yeah. But Deschamps came out and said that he ain't going to be replacing him. He's just going to go with the players he's got. I was a bit cheesed off, you know, with the fact that he didn't start Saliba.
Yeah, another player on form.
Yeah, but it is what it is.
He's a strange coach.
Hopefully he will get some game time. But then I'm saying, my selfish side is saying, well, you know what? As long as you don't get injured, you know, just come there, represent what you need to do, and then So so I think France win that
Lillian
group.
Thuram. Oh no, Marcus Thuram. Okay, now I thought it was Lillian Thuram. They were like, what?
Yeah.
Now I'm looking at their bench. I'm looking at the French bench. Okay.
Yeah, but the guy that was playing Thuram, who was playing in midfield, what a player that guy is, man. What a player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, and now today, obviously, Morocco, I didn't see that game. Morocco against Croatia, they drew 0-0. Belgium are currently
that was this morning.
Yeah. Belgium are currently 0-0 with Canada, as I said. Canada just missed a penalty. And Germany losing 2-1.
Japan.
2-8. I think it was 2 8-minute goals. Quick session in second half to beat Germany 2-1.
Yeah, Germany 1-0 up with Gundogan.
And in that group, And in that group, you've got Spain, Germany, Japan, and Costa Rica. All right, okay. Yeah.
Well, Costa Rica, they're done out here. 7-0, they're done out here. So forget them.
Spain, yeah. So,
boy,
what do you reckon? What do you reckon, D?
Well, the thing is, Germany now has to beat Spain and Costa Rica.
Yeah.
So, Germany could be going on, mate. They could be going on.
Spain and I know for a fact, I think Japan will beat Costa Rica.
Oh, yeah. Japan will beat Costa Rica. Japan and Spain will be a decent game.
Okay, let me just bring in Kofi Klopp. He's joining us now. So let me just bring him in. Yes, Mr. Kofi Klopp, what are you saying, brother?
What's up, guys? Sorry, apologies.
Apologies
for the late appearance. I know my appearance has changed a little.
Yeah, your beard is a little bit overgrown, brother. But you probably heard that Man United are selling their club now, and you're getting a little bit jealous.
I heard about that. Like the Northern boys are really in there.
Well, listen, I'll say to D earlier on, like it looks like all the Americans are trying to get rid of the clubs. I mean, listen, the Cronkies need to follow suit. You know what I mean? And it's interesting because all of these owners, they were in for the ESL. You remember? Yeah, the European Super League.
That's right. Yeah, they were.
You know what I mean? It'd be interesting to see what happens there. But look, if the Glazers do sell, you're talking anywhere between 5 and possibly 10 billion. A lot of money. A lot of money. But we just finished talking about Japan beating Germany. Another shock result.
Oh yeah.
Obviously
the World Cup has brought a lot of surprises so far.
Yeah, definitely. We're just looking at this particular group. Japan will beat Costa Rica. I could, Spain beat them. Was it 7-0?
7-0,
yeah.
7-0. 7-0, yeah. It could have been 10-0, Bridget. Trust me.
Right.
So Costa Rica done out here.
Yeah, Costa Rica done out here.
But funny thing is, Germany, if they don't beat Spain.
Yeah, that's what I just said that to Norman. They're out. They got to beat Spain. Yeah.
And Spain are going to be confident. So
yeah.
You know what? It could be a Spain Japan. Yeah, it could be a Spain Japan thing.
Because as well, Norman, even when he made the wholesale changes at 4-0, they still didn't ease up. They just still came for them and scored 3 more goals. And it could have been, like I say, it could have been 10-0 easily. It could have been 10-0.
Yeah.
And even at the end, the referee blew up early at the end.
Their football really emulates a Barcelona way of playing.
Yeah.
And
they play possession football.
Yeah, Lewis Enrique, innit?
Yeah. They play possession football, and it's nice to see. But then sometimes there was a period of time when Spain was doing that, and they weren't playing. They were playing possession football, but there was no end product.
Yeah, they were scoring.
There was a period of time there was, where they went through a dip. But you've seen them just put 7 past Costa Rica. I didn't see the game. What?
It's like they say, Norm. You want to see them do that against Germany, and then you'll see where they're really at.
Yeah.
A quality side. You know what I mean?
And looking at the result, they are going to go into that game full of confidence.
Yeah.
Germany are shell shocked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Being beaten by Japan, but Japan are a very organised side. And again, Tommy Asher didn't start in the game, but he came on. I think in the 40-something minute or something, like 45th minute or something like that. So
what for Japan?
It is what it is. Yeah, for Japan. Yeah.
How is he not starting for Japan?
Yes,
I don't know.
That makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. I don't know.
These coaches, man, they do some weird stuff, man.
Yeah. They do some weird stuff. So look, we sort of kind of tackled the games up to this point. Obviously, the Belgium-Canada game is currently going on, still 0-0. Canada missed a penalty. We'll see how that game ends. I mean, I'm not watching it, so I can't even really tell. I mean, if anybody wants to put it in the chat, is it a bit of a board draw? Does it look like it's going to end up being a board draw, or are Canada taking it to Belgium, or Belgium doing it? Are there any chances in the games that you think, somebody will come out as winners, or do you think it's going to end up being a draw, 0-0? Please put it in the chat.
Do you know what? Belgium really have to prove that they are that team that can go over the line and win a major championship.
I think with this current crop of players that they've got, I can't see them doing it now. They're a very aging squad now. You know, as I said, you got Vertonghen, you got Alderweireld in the back. Do you know what I mean? So you know, there was a period of time when they were calling them the golden generation. You know, with Eden Hazard and them guys coming through. But Eden Hazard has kind of fallen off the cliff, kind of thing. He's got his brother sitting on the bench. You know, De Bruyne, listen, he's still amazing. He's an amazing player. You've got Batshuayi, who used to play for Chelsea. I think he was. I can't remember if he played for Man City at one point. But he was out on loan to Crystal Palace for a couple of times. Yeah. I can't. I don't know if they will. I don't know. I don't know. If I look at their group, who's in their group? D? Can you see who's in the Belgium group?
Belgium. Here we go.
And what's the current state of play in terms of the table?
So I'm trying to see where their table.
I've just found it now. So this is remember Croatia Morocco ended up 0-0. So they're 1 point currently. As live standing it's one point.
Oh, they're in Group F. So Croatia. So everyone's on 1 point. So everyone's on a point so far, isn't it? Yeah.
Everybody's on 1 point currently because remember the game is live. That's just live standings at the moment. So if whoever comes out, winners will. You know, if it ends up as a draw, then it's going to be all going to be at 1 point. Now, looking at that group: Belgium, Canada, Croatia, Morocco. I would say Belgium and Croatia should go through.
Right. Yeah.
But, you know, Alphonso Davies sent Tielemans to the shop. Oh, my gosh. He's a quick player, bro. He's a quick player. I think he plays for Bayern Munich, isn't he? Is it Bayern Munich he plays for? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But, yeah. What do you reckon at that? Belgium, Canada, Croatia, Morocco. What are you saying, guys?
Yeah, I agree with you, man. In theory, Belgium and Croatia.
Belgium, Croatia. Belgium to top the group.
Yeah. I mean, Croatia, I think some people are saying that there could be a dark horse because do you remember when they got to the finals?
Right, yeah.
But
another Asian team norm as well.
Yeah, and
right. You know what I mean? They're still relying on Luka Modric to be that man, you know? So.
But I'll tell you what, though.
Maybe,
What is he? Nearly 40?
Luka.
Was he about 38, 39? No, bro.
He got me close.
He's knocking on that door. He's knocking on that door.
He got me close, hasn't he?
Absolutely. But listen, so currently, as we stand, it is Belgium 0, Canada 0. So that's all the games up until that point. And we were just asking, because we haven't really seen any have we seen any of your players feature yet, Kofi? In
Van
the World Cup.
Van Dijk featured.
Yeah, how do you think he fared? Because we're just asking how your players, how do you think they're performing? How do you think he performed in that game?
To be honest,
you know,
like when you look at the Dutch side, Senegal actually played quite well in terms of they really gave them a game, and they
the cutting edge.
Yeah. It was just that they didn't have that Mane. They didn't have Mane to.
They didn't have Mane to finish it. Finish it.
But it really was where your Mane's gone, innit? It really was a case of that. For them, I kind of felt bad for them, you know.
But Mendy, I was saying to D earlier before you come on. I don't know if you heard it on the stream. Mendy and the other player,
Koulibaly. Yeah,
they kind of let Senegal down, and obviously being Chelsea as well. Both goals were Mendy's fault, missing the punch, and then parrying the ball out, mate.
But when you look at it up until that point, you know, Senegal was still in the game.
Chile say D shameless with that flag. Just to let you know, everybody know in the chat.
What you chatting about? What you chatting about, Chile? I don't tell man already that, boy, I handed in that England pass. Listen, I wish the black fellas well for England, but I'm a Brazil man. Sure, everything. You see me there, man.
No, yes, did you see that ceremony of Nketiah when he was?
Yes, I did.
Coming to.
He swapped allegiances. He swapped allegiances, and we played for Ghana. But he's not actually in this current World Cup squad.
No, he's not.
Right, okay, yeah, I did see that the guys doing the dance.
Yeah,
man. It was good, man. Yeah, it's good. I see him with his Rolex watch as well. I'm surprised no one
He
teased
was
it.
fronting the Rolex, wasn't he? Oh Lord, you be careful.
Yeah, man was flexing with the Rolex as well. You know what I mean? But he's swapped allegiances, and he could probably make the next World Cup. Obviously, not in this one. But he's changed allegiances, and big up to your Kofi and your Ghanaian brother, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just going back to Luca Norman. He's 37, and he shares my birthday, 9th of September.
Oh wow!
It's mad, isn't it? Yeah.
Wow,
37.
Wow.
So this may be his last World Cup, I would think.
Yeah.
Because it'll be 41 by the time the next one comes around, or
thereabouts. I was just sharing with D. This is what Ronaldo will probably look like. If he was ever playing for us.
But Kofi, there's been talk about it. There's been talk about it. He's better than
there's Piers Morgan pushing the agenda. There's Piers Morgan pushing the agenda. There's other fans pushing the agenda. Take it for 6 months.
Mash up that.
What could he do?
Wave, Norm.
Let's just nip it in the bud. He's a bad egg.
Absolutely. I wouldn't be taking him. No way. Absolutely no way. But as I said, who's he going to end up playing for?
And Norman,
pick a mix. It's pick a mix time for this.
You remember what he said?
Pick a mix.
He said if Man United ain't there or thereabouts, he wants Arsenal to win the league. He said it. No one put that in his mouth. He said that without a gun to his head.
He can say little
He's
more.
a closet Arsenal man, Kofi. He's a closet Arsenal man.
He can say it little more. He can say it little more.
The bright lights of London and all that. You know what I mean?
Look, I mean, listen. Where do you think he will end up, though? For real, though, where do you think?
Well, here's the thought, though. And God forbid, if he wins the World Cup, I think he retires.
Yeah, he has to go down that route because what
if
else?
If he don't win the World Cup, then he'll be looking just to make sure that Messi don't beat his records or whatever. But if he wins the World Cup, he may just call it a day. Yeah, but that's just my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't see him playing in any other league, MLS.
Well, if he was to end up signing for an English club, just to let you know, he's been banned for 2 games for hitting the camera phone out of the guy's hand.
50,000.
Yeah, £50,000 fine and a 2-game ban. Look how long that.
I mean, which other club does he want to come disrupt? If he goes to Chelsea, I mean, they're just.
I mean, Todd Bowley would probably take him. Yeah, I just don't think Mr. Potter, Harry Potter, will take him. I don't think Harry Tuchel didn't want him. He's also linked with Newcastle again, strongly linked with Newcastle. But Newcastle are saying at the moment they're only signing young players.
Yeah, but if he went up, But then apparently Newcastle. I read today Newcastle now have new interest in the Leicester man James Maddison.
Yeah.
And I think maybe Ezra, one of them guys, said that a few weeks ago. That if he goes anywhere right now, he'd go to Newcastle, and then now you see it. I saw it.
I think it was somewhere in the chat. I think there was something in the chat. I think it was from Junior. He was asking. I think it was a question he was posing. Do you think, because Maddison obviously has gone to the World Cup injured, do you think he will start a game?
Probably not.
It'll be very difficult unless there's significant injuries, and it's just like if Trippier gets that injury, is Trent getting his time?
Well, yeah. I think maybe. Listen, with this current midfield with Jude Bellingham and Rice, you know what I mean. I don't see Maddison getting a look in at the moment. Do you know what I'm saying? And then I think on top of that, with the injury as well, that's touch and go, isn't it?
Yeah, but then the thing is, in certain types of games, Maddison will be more suited than what Declan Rice will give, because you may come up to like in maybe the knockout stages, and in certain periods of the game, they're probably going to need the intelligence of Maddison to open up play.
Yeah, especially if there's a team that's going to play with a low block. But to be honest, I think after they get through these group stages, and get to the knockout stages, that's why I'm thinking to myself,
he'll go with a smaller squad then, Norm.
Yeah. I wouldn't see them needing to use Maddison. If Maddison was probably fit he may have had a game against Iran, because Iran do play with a lot of the players behind the ball.
No, why are we taking injured players to the World Cup, or why are they taking injured players to the World Cup? I'm a Brazil fan, so I'm just saying why? Because there's something that they talked about. They weren't going to do that, but now it's like, oh, he's injured, and we'll see how he gets on. Send him home. It's the World Cup at the end of the day.
Yeah,
and I think he picked him because of the pressure from the media, saying he can't be on this form for Leicester and he don't go to the World Cup. Because even he said he was shocked when he got the call. He never expected the call. The media got him that start.
Because I don't even think he's even training. I think he's doing very light training. I don't even think he's training.
Send him home.
The main group. So
there's bare man that you can call up, innit, to make the squad, to make sure you got a squad that is fit. There's bare man, but maybe guys are going on holiday and stuff now, so they're saying, "Nah, man, we're good." If I'm an afterthought, then I'm okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, Belgium
1-0.
Okay, Belgium 1-0. So we'll see what go on. Just scored. We're just getting that through. So thank you for the update there, guys. We're coming down to our last point, and that's any other business. If there's any other business that you think, guys, you want to chuck in there, please chuck it. Anybody in the chat, if there's any other business that you think you want us to talk about for the next 10 minutes or so, let us know. But let me
No, man, I'm just saying that Alfonso David missed a penalty, you know.
Who?
Alfonso David.
Canada. Yeah.
He missed a penalty. I missed
that. It was earlier on in the chat, innit? Yeah,
wow. How are you gonna miss a penalty, bruh? It's a World Cup.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mate. And you would have thought he would have scored that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah.
So who are your guys? Your favourites to win the World Cup?
Mine.
I'm going Brazil. Well, look, you can see look behind him. I hope next week. Listen, Kofi. I hope next week you're going to be getting your Ghana top on, you know. Yeah. Come on, man. Represent, man. Yeah.
I'll see if I can find one somewhere. Maybe I have to look on the internet.
Get your backdrop. Get your superimposed backdrop and get your Ghana flag up there, mate. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, listen. Look, we haven't seen Belgium. We haven't seen Brazil play yet.
Late one.
You would think that Brazil, you got France in there, Spain now, England. You know, these guys that have won convincingly. You know what I mean?
Well, if you look at tomorrow, Norman, you've got three teams that people say could be there or thereabouts playing tomorrow, as in Uruguay, Portugal, and Brazil. They're all playing tomorrow.
Are they playing in that? So is Brazil in that same?
Brazil is late. They're playing at 7.
Are they?
Portugal playing at 16. Are they in
that group? Is Brazil in that group though?
Portugal. Brazil is hold on. Brazil is with Group G. So that Brazil, Cameroon, Serbia, and Switzerland in Group G.
I would expect Brazil to win that group.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at it, Brazil
and Switzerland possibly.
Or Serbia. Serbia's always been a dark horse.
Serbia a bit of a dark horse. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But I'm only saying it because Granit Xhaka plays for Switzerland, so that's why I'm saying it.
Oh, seeing, man. Well, no, you know what?
So Craig is saying, I said Argentina winners, Germany to flop, dark horse is Serbia, top scorer Mbappe.
There you go, Craig.
Okay, that's what Craig is saying. France,
reigning champions, France.
They
look good.
Saying,
they look good. You're right, Chile.
Listen, Drew has stepped up to the plate, and Mbappe looks good. So yeah, but yeah, I'm going Brazil. I'm going. Brazil. All right. So what? Okay. The question is, guys, what will be the final? What will be the final? I know we'll probably talk about it again because that could all change. So right now, as it stands in the group stages, yes, we haven't seen Brazil play yet, and a couple of other teams. But who would you say is going to make the final? And I suppose it's how things sort of permeate as well, isn't it? So who do you think?
Well, Brazil for sure.
Yep.
I'm backing my boys to get to the final.
I'm looking at the teams as they've started right now, and I'm thinking. I looked at Argentina. I watched the Argentina game, and they've always been slow starters.
Right. Yeah. So true. Because I remember, I think it was 1990. They got beaten by Cameroons, and they ended up winning the World Cup. I think 1990. If I'm right.
Yeah. It's more. As well, it's more.
No, Germany won 1990.
No. Yeah, no. They got to the final. Sorry.
Final.
Yeah, sorry. They got to the final.
but then it's whether the group of players are they going to then take responsibility and ownership in their team, because they're losing leaders. I don't see them having leaders in that team.
Chile's going Brazil, France. I was thinking that Chile. You read my mind. I was thinking Brazil, France.
Yeah, reigning champions.
Yep.
Yeah.
Against the 5-time champions.
Do you know what?
I would say the same, but I'm kind of seeing Portugal there in the final. They've got a squad. Portugal got a team. They've got a team.
I forgot. Yeah, Ronaldo's playing up front.
No, but look at that group though, right? Like Ghana ain't gonna lie down for them. Nope. And then you got Uruguay, South Korea. That's a hard group, man.
And listen, bro, you got a couple of players in Uruguay, yeah? You got your Noodles man in there, bro.
Yeah, Noodles is there, mate. No, and he found the form at the right time. Can't sleep on Spain. Chile, you can't sleep on Spain, man, because now they're scoring with that Luis Enrique formation.
Semi-Brazil, England. So Junior's gone for semi-Brazil, England, Spain, possibly France.
Oh.
Yeah, for me, you can't sleep on Uruguay either. Yeah, I just don't think you can sleep on.
I mean, listen, it is what it is now. Yeah, I'm saying Brazil, France, but that could all change next week. When we come back to the show, it could be a different story, bro. It could be a different story.
I think it's gonna be one of them World Cups, isn't it, Norm?
Imagine Argentina v Portugal, Messi v Ronaldo, one last final dance, bro.
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that nonsense now.
You know what? That is the dream exit for two of the biggest players in world football.
No, but what will happen? I'll tell you what will happen in that game, yeah? Because you got Messi, the GOAT, and you got Ronaldo, GOAT, yeah? Yeah? If it's gonna be staged as the Messi Ronaldo show, where Messi v Ronaldo.
I think they'll make an absolute circus of the World Cup. I think
they'll make a circus of it. But just say Argentina beat Portugal, yeah, and Argentina go on to win the World Cup with Messi in the side, or the vice versa. If Portugal beat Argentina, go on to win, who becomes the GOAT? Who becomes the GOAT?
Look, I still
no, because Messi's never won a World Cup.
Yeah, no, it's Ronaldo.
Yeah,
no, it's Ronaldo. So who becomes the GOAT?
Ronaldo will be the GOAT. Look, Ronaldo will be the GOAT in terms of his accolade of he's won all the trophies. But Messi for me is the GOAT because he's the humble guy.
Yeah, I hear that.
And I hear that. But you're sitting on the fence. Which one is it? Come on.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If everybody had to say who is the real GOAT, Ronaldo, if he wins the World Cup,
he will become the GOAT. Yeah. And if it so what you say, and if what's the name does it, then okay, I hear your logic on that.
You know what? Like I said. I think I said in the chat, Norm, in our chat, there's the Billy goal. You know the ones, it's like, am I the goat or am I the Billy goat?
Hang on, let me just do my thinking emoji. I wonder who the Billy goat. I wonder who the Billy goat is.
Right. Because you know what? There's a level of...
Put it in the chat.
There's a level of class that comes with when you say you're the goat. It comes with a level of everything. And boy, I think one is a goat, one is behaving like a Billy goat. So let me leave that. Let me leave that be, man.
Leave that. We'll leave
put
that. Put
him in a curry with some basmati rice. See there? Curry him up and put him in some basmati rice and be done with that. With the air of corn.
Some roti with that, man. Some roti with that as well.
Just give me that. You know what I mean? Boneless curry.
So D, can I ask you this? Yeah. So now Ronaldo's contract has been terminated. How does the psychology of Ronaldo not being there affect the dressing room when the World Cup finishes? Yeah.
Whoa. It's twofold, right? Because he was trying to hold them to a certain standard, even though he wasn't playing well himself. So that was always a little bit of you know what, you're playing crap, mate, and you're chatting this. But I think there'll be players that will want to prove Ronaldo wrong. The younger players that he was criticising that don't want to listen to him. And I said to Norman earlier that I don't see us rushing to replace him. So I think we could be light going for the rest of the season, where at least you could play him in Europa League games and stuff like that.
Pele, the real GOAT. Yeah, man. Respect, man.
There you go.
Every time.
There you go, Chili. Right?
There you go. Say no
more. I hear you, man.
So it's an interesting one, Kofi, because as much as we knew he wanted to go, we never realized it would blow up like that. And we have owners that don't like to spend money in January unless they really have to. Remember, we bought Bruno in January, and you could see they didn't want to spend that money, but there was no choice. And Bruno had a decent effect when he came in. And that was with Ollie. I suppose Fergie talked to them, and it was Ollie. Give Ollie another player to. But I think he just goes with this squad that he's got. He won't. He's stubborn. He won't just go and buy any striker if you don't think that striker can be long term for him, because he knows that he's a chopping block. You know what I mean? No one fires a whole team. They fire the manager. So Ten Hag will now be in protection mode to say, well, I'm not going to rush and spend this money when I might get more money in the summer. So don't be surprised if we don't replace him, which is kind of mad because, like you said, Martial and Rashford can't stay fit. So we'll see. But then, to be fair, Rashford's playing for a new contract. So he might will his body to stay fit in that sense, you know? So that's why I'm not bothered if you don't get much minutes for England, and that's just selfishly. I'm not bothered because I don't want him coming back injured.
It's a bit like Saliba. I was a little bit like, oh man, he didn't big. Yeah. When I read the article, it was like big blow. Saliba, I think, is he injured? Only to find out that he wasn't picked to play. But you know what? Listen, as long as he comes back fresh, for Arsenal, and we just carry on that surfboard. You know what I'm saying? That's
listen. My man Kanate had a solid game, man.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I was going to say, because we're looking at how our players are performing, and he definitely had a good game. Not too sure.
I think because our league is so competitive that deep down, as much as it's a World Cup, right, and we want everyone to do well, you're almost saying, like, put them at half time and listen, you know what I mean? Every time your player's on, you want them to do half-time changes and stuff like that.
I'm glad they did it. I'm glad they did it with Saka. Getting his place, taking him off. Good management.
And you know what? Like, I want him to get a hat-trick, Norm. I would selfishly say, let him stay on and get the hat-trick and then silence all them races that came out. Silence them in the first game of the World Cup.
And you've taken me a nice segue into that, Mr. D. This is our last subject matter, and I know you've said it to me in the chat, and even Chili has said it to me when we've been on our WhatsApp group chat, and that we shouldn't give the time of day to it. But I'm fed up when I see like rubbish in terms of, let me just do that. Let's just go on here, back on here,
forevermore.
And it's for me. I'm just gonna just let you see the statement, right? So I don't know if you can see that, right? I've taken out the guy's thingy, but I don't think it was him per se. That
he was saying someone in his office said that.
I think it was the same. So just have a little read of that and just. Guys, just give me your thoughts on it. People in the chat, give me your thoughts on it. This is England at 5-1. Chile forwarded this on to us in our WhatsApp chat, group chat. And I know, we had a big, long discussion about it. And listen, it continues to happen. And, internet trolls at it again. And yes, we shouldn't give them the time of day. But, we're winning 5-1. And somebody says this. Fella in the office said it's still 0-0, waiting for an Englishman to score a goal.
Disappointing, isn't it? Disappointing.
Yeah.
I think I said in the chat, I'm just tired. I'm tired of it. It's like long. Yeah. And that's why I just say, you know what, let me just not have my headspace in that allegiance. It's no point for me.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just no call for it. these are guys that are proudly playing for their country, and you get idiots like this putting out statements and stuff like this. You know what I mean? And obviously, the guy is only saying what the guy said. You know, so it's not him per se saying. If that was the case, he would have. You know, they would have looked into that. So
we got cancelled.
And you're gonna get a lot of that. And the problem is when it comes down to the crunch, in the European competition, obviously, Saka, Sancho, a couple of other players got some
Rashford,
some serious abuse after England going out on penalties.
Sancho,
we've come away with a convincing win, and you get things like this on there.
There's no need for it at all.
There's no need for it at all. You know what I mean? These men are living in the dark ages. You understand? But this is what you got to deal with. This is the social media era. You know what I mean? And listen, I'm sure those players would have seen this, or it would have done the rounds or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But these guys, do what you need to do. Get your head focused. Keep doing what you're doing for England, and don't let these things, get you down. They will always be there. They're looking for attention, and this is what it is. I mean, look, it could be to the point where if England did end up winning the World Cup and Saka scoring the winner, would he be saying that? He probably would.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's just that way they think, their minds think and everything. And it's a shame that, you have to be reading things like that. But, it will always continue to persist in football. And you've got these guys hiding behind their keyboards and putting out rubbish like that. So, people in the chat, you've seen it. And, just let me know your thoughts on it as well. What and I suppose it's a question is, what can we do to eradicate? We've had this conversation before concerning the Saka situation, the Rashford and Sancho situation. Twitter, the social media platform. I mean, surely they must have some kind of filters where if they did try to put things out like that, then it's automatically blocked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that you don't give them the time of day. But Twitter is what it is. It's a vicious place. You know what I mean? You have to have a strong will, strong mind to deal with some of the abuse that's on there. And it is what it is. But listen, Saka, go out there. Rashford, all the England players, full stop. Go out there and show them. You know what I mean? Show them on the pitch. You know what I mean? And let them eat their words. That's all I got to say on it. So that's just really my thoughts. And I thought I'd just pick up on it. I know, I just said, sometimes we shouldn't give it the time, but I think you need to address it when it happens. And I'm addressing it on this platform, and just hope that these guys get educated and sort out their heads, really. You know what I mean? But listen, we've tackled all the subject matters this evening. Next week we go again. We'll see how the rest of the group games pan out. Do you know what I mean? As I said, we went for Brazil, France this week. Next week we might be saying a totally different thing. We don't know what's going to happen. There's been some shock results. Argentina, Germany. Do you know what I mean? So it's a bit of a mad one.
It's a wake up call.
It's a wake up call. You know what I mean? Do we expect any more shock results? Who knows? Yeah, who knows? Let's watch this space, see what happens, see how our players are performing next week. We go again, because obviously this week, hopefully, I think all the group first games will be played, and then we start.
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, the 4 games tomorrow: Switzerland, Cameroon, Uruguay, Korea, Portugal, Ghana, Brazil.
Serbia. And one, I suppose, one last thing just before we do sign off, people. Which African team will go the furthest?
Oh, it's a difficult one.
I'm hoping Ghana.
Yeah.
I'm actually hoping Ghana do. Senegal, can they win the rest of their games in their group? They can. Ghana, Ghana's so tough.
Who's in Ghana's group again? Quickly.
They got Portugal. They got
Brazil and Serbia.
No.
No,
they got Brazil.
No, they can't. They got Brazil.
No, they got Portugal. They got Uruguay,
South Korea.
And you know South Korea, some reason when it comes to tournament football, they always seem to do all right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They always seem to get out the group stages.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
yeah. South Korea, Portugal.
So say it again. What's the group?
Portugal, Uruguay, Ghana, South Korea.
Okay. So
that's a hard group, isn't it?
That's a hard group.
Yeah.
So the thing is, like, other than Portugal, are Uruguay that team that can be dominant to win or to finish second in the group? I don't know, because they can be a little bit.
But now it's noodles, man. It's noodles time, bro.
Yeah,
it's noodles time. But noodles we trust, man. He can carry them.
They can have a game. They can have a bad game.
Yeah,
I've seen them play before, and they're not consistent like that. So I'm thinking if Ghana can roll up their sleeves and just knock a few teams about, I think they could qualify.
So would you say Ghana will probably go the furthest then out of all the African teams? Because you got Cameroon, Senegal.
Cameroon,
it's only three African teams, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, there's Morocco.
Yeah,
Morocco. Sorry, Morocco.
Yeah,
yes, Morocco.
There's Tunisia.
Yeah.
There's teams there. There's teams. So
I'm not feeling that. Yeah, I'm not feeling that Tunisia or Morocco are going to really. I think
Cameroon.
Out of Cameroon.
Yeah, Cameroon.
Switzerland, Serbia. It's only Brazil that they might think, it's Brazil, but they may feel they can do something and get some points against Serbia and Switzerland.
I suppose what they'll take comfort from is that they look at all the other games and they can say, what we got to lose? What we got to lose? Let's just go out there, enjoy the moment. We're in the World Cup finals.
Yeah,
let's go there and let's see what we can do. You know what I mean? Yeah,
because you have to remember, Norm, like the big teams, like my Brazil now. You think it ain't little pressure on Neymar Jr. You think it ain't little pressure on Cristiano Ronaldo after running his gums? So the shrinking violet in the light, man, when it's all on you and you scuff a few shots. I'm telling you scuff a few shots, right? The crowd start getting on your back. They become tough games, mate. They become tough.
You've only got to go back to when the World Cup was in Brazil and what did Germany do to them?
Yeah,
right,
bro. Let that not happen. Let that not happen again. That was humbling, mate. And the Brazilian folks,
that's what I love.
Brazilian folks were not happy. I'll tell you that now.
Nope,
weren't that happy. But listen, it is what it is. But listen, we go again next week with the What's Going On podcast and looking at the World Cup. And as I say, let's see what happens. As I said, this could all change next week. We said Brazil, France for the final, but I think there's going to be some more nuances stuff thrown up, and we'll see how that all pans out. We expect a couple of more shot results, as long as it's not Brazil. As long as it's not Brazil. But listen, guys, in the chat, thank you for staying with us. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and share. If you're new, share it around, and we will see you on the next What's Going On podcast. Take care, and God bless.